Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to go over the return of the BioSyn cryocan that was teased in the new Season 5 trailer of Camp Cretaceous. Now, while there's a whole lot of other crazy things going on in that trailer, like the dinosaurs being controlled via that mind device from the last season, I'm more interested in the return of the Barbasol can from the original Jurassic Park and what it could mean for Jurassic World Dominion if it shows up. Because Colin Trevorrow has teased that both of these stories intertwine in some way, and I think that can, that was originally owned by BioSyn after all, could be what he was talking about. Now before I go any further, I want to mention to you guys that today's video is sponsored by CuriosityStream, the world's first streaming service addressing our lifelong quest to learn, explore, and understand, offering up thousands of non-fiction titles, documentaries, and exclusive originals from some of the world's best filmmakers. This is the place to find fascinating stories that are entertaining without any reality show nonsense. CuriosityStream is the Netflix for nerds, the Hulu for history buffs, and the Disney Plus for the scientists in us all. And at under $20 a year, it's extremely affordable, coming out to about $1.67 per month. Now, CuriosityStream has always been the perfect sponsor for my channel due to all of the dinosaur documentaries they have, just like this one that features a group of guys going over dinosaur finds and enjoying some rapids. I have a few friends that actually work on dinosaurs for real in paleontology and have even been out in the field, which I always think is cooler than just random fighting about animal designs in movies online. CuriosityStream is the entertainment brand for people that want to know more, and it's available on Roku, Android, Xbox, iOS, Chromecast, Amazon, Apple, and several smart TVs as well. New shows come out every week, so whether you want to learn about science, sports, music, technology, nature, or history, you can find it all on CuriosityStream. Just go to curiositystream.com/Clayton for unlimited access to the world's top documentaries and nonfiction series. And just for you guys, use promo code Clayton and you will save 25% off, which comes out to about $14.99 a year. This is an extremely affordable deal, so click the link below or go to curiositystream.com/Clayton to start saving 25% off right now. So once again, I want to say thank you to CuriosityStream for sponsoring today's video. Now, back to Jurassic Park. So in order to really dissect what the can's return means, I think we need to go back to the beginning and talk about what the can meant for Jurassic Park and the history of the franchise in general. We know that Louis-Dodgson met up with Dennis Nedry and gave him the Barbasol can, or actually the cryocan that was designed to steal and smuggle away embryos from John Hammond's Jurassic Park in the first movie. The can was buried in mud after Dennis Nedry was killed by a Dilophosaurus, but Steven Spielberg originally meant for Jurassic Park 2 to actually utilize that can for what he called something that would rear 8 ugly heads in the next movie.
I never split any hairs about, do I want to make a sequel to Jurassic Park? Of course I wanted to make a sequel to Jurassic Park. It was just when. I somehow liked that idea, and we never really exploited it, but that can of shaving cream that had the DNA of about 8 species of dinosaur. When I was making the first movie, I thought if there's going to be a sequel, it's going to have to be about the retrieval of that can of shaving lotion. And that's how they bring the dinosaurs back. I mean, that's why I did the shot in the movie. But it wound up that Michael Crichton's second book went into an entirely different philosophy about how to reintroduce the dinosaurs. And so I went along with Michael's instincts, and that can is still buried there somewhere, just waiting to rear about 8 ugly heads for another Jurassic Park movie.
Now, Spielberg never got to do that because Michael Crichton went in a very different direction for the sequel novel, but he did try to bring it back for Jurassic Park 4 with the John Sayles script that was written in the early 2000s. This is where a mercenary comes across Dennis Nedry's corpse in the Jeep Wrangler and gets the Barbasol can to take back to someone else. Now, one of the most important things to know about this Barbasol can, the cryocan from BioSyn, is that it only had 36 hours viability for the embryos going forward. If they didn't get to the dock and didn't get to the mainland and BioSyn in time, they would not be viable. They couldn't make dinosaurs of their own, which was the entire purpose of getting Dennis to steal them from Jurassic Park. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they couldn't say that they could retrieve DNA in some way from the cryocan. That may have been what Spielberg had in mind back for the original version of Jurassic Park 2. Maybe they weren't exactly embryos. They could just take specific gene sequences of DNA from them, and that may have been where the whole hybridization idea came from before they did Chaos Effect in the 90s. But what I'm saying is you can't actually take those and make a T-Rex or a Triceratops or a Stegosaurus because they just aren't good anymore. But then again, we have to factor into the account that It depends on when they retrieve the can. If they go back like they did for the Telltale game and get the can during the events of Jurassic Park, then that could mean that they did get to the mainland in time and were able to salvage something more resilient than just random DNA mush. Now, I'm not so sure that that's what's going on here, because even in the Telltale game, the T-Rex stomped on the can, and while it's not canon, you should take into account that Jurassic World has been taking a lot of stuff from that game for their future stories and the stories that they've told in the past. Just like Mount Sibo, the volcano on Isla Nublar, it got its name from the Telltale game, and there's other stuff in the canon that was lifted from there as well. It's just the story in general for the video game is not 100% lore. With that being said though, if they took the can from Isla Nublar some later date, which makes sense because it obviously didn't get burned up by the volcano if it's in Camp Cretaceous, because that takes place in 2016, could even be 2017 this season. We can see it's all rusted up and old, so they had to have retrieved it before the events of Fallen Kingdom. But that being said, why did they retrieve it in general? Manticore has nothing to really do with BioSyn as far as we know, although that could change. We do know that they've been snooping around on Site B and stealing dinosaurs from that island for their, experimentations and stuff, so maybe they've also been snooping around on Isla Nublar and uncovered it sometime in the past. Whether that be when InGen was building Jurassic World or whether that be some other undisclosed date, I think what we do need to talk about is, yeah, they've got the can. So what does that mean for BioSyn in Jurassic World Dominion? Well look, this movie has the return of pretty much everyone from the first film, as well as Louis Dodgson, who is forever connected with the cryocan. It's his cryocan. He gave it to Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park. But like I said, it doesn't really work anymore, so what does it mean for Dominion? Well, if it's in the movie, I think they could actually use it in a way similar to something like Terminator 2, where you see Miles Dyson has the severed Terminator arm as well as the computer chip that he's reverse engineering to make, future technology for Skynet. I don't really think the can itself has any inherent value, but I think what the can represents and how it took down InGen and Jurassic Park in the 90s is an important feat for BioSyn, or at the very least Louis Dodgson in, this universe. Still, I don't see any real usage that they could use from it in this series or in the movies, so it's going to be interesting to see how they can integrate it into the story, unless they did get it within those 36 hours while it was buried in mud. I'm not so sure what Steven Spielberg's idea is going forward. I know he's always wanted to bring this thing back, so they're introducing it in Camp Cretaceous, and it could even be in the new movie. We've heard rumors that it might be, but this is the most concrete evidence that we have going forward, and I think that's pretty cool. Anyways, guys, what are all of your thoughts on the can's return? Personally, I think it's cool to see it as a relic, but I don't really know what usage you could get out of it, so I'm hoping that it's brought back for something, interesting, and not just like, hey, look, it's the can, This is actually a big plot thing. Like, this could be integrated really well as an important piece of Jurassic Park history, because that's exactly what it is. So I would like to see it in Dominion. I have no idea what the purpose is for it in Camp Cretaceous, but hey, whatever your own thoughts and opinions on this cryocan and how they could use it happen to be, I'd love to hear about them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens and InGen executives, as well as all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. You've all helped my channel immensely, and I'm incredibly grateful for all of that support. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video and hope that you enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you all consider subscribing. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.